Hello, Wired fam. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm a little late tonight. I apologize for that. I actually was at the house trying to get some things done. Had appliances delivered today to the Wired home. So we got appliances. So I was dealing with that, just trying to wrap up some stuff. And I was there too late. I'm sorry. So for those that were looking for the live stream, I set it up like 2 minutes before 9, and here we are. So I apologize to everybody. Actually, I was on the way home, and I was talking to my wife, and she's like, "Hey, aren't you going live tonight?" And I was like, yes. What time is it? She's like 8:55, and I was like, "Oh crap!" So I threw it in fourth gear and off I went. So got home, got it set up. Anyway, sorry I'm late. I apologize. But hey, we're here. So let's see, rods. We were going to talk about rods tonight. So there's a couple different things I want to talk about tonight. We will talk about rods. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. Talk about the differences in rods and that sort of thing. I do have a couple different variations of rod here. I'm trying to think to myself what all I have. I think I have B&Ms and ACCs. I don't know that I have my Wally Marshalls anymore, but I have B&Ms, I have ACCs, and then we'll talk about some others that are out there, the Lewis series, the Wally Marshalls. You've got, Josh Jones, if you've been watching him, he's supporting Dobbins, and there's just different. We're going to talk more about the way you fish and the rod that'll work best for you, more so than the individual rod itself. You got to have a rod that'll work for you while you're on the lake. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. I got a big box of stuff down here. I got a big old box of stuff right here that we're going to unbox. Okay, go through some of that because I'm excited about that. What else are we going to talk about tonight? Let me get my head wrapped around it because I just rolled in like literally 5 minutes ago. So glad there wasn't any cops on the way back here because I was rolling. I was wide open. But yeah, if you're on tonight, drop me a hello. Let me know where you're from. I like to say hello to everybody when you guys get on here. This is a very personable channel, very personal channel. I like to be able to talk to you guys. I like to be able to get to know you guys and say hello and conversate with you guys. So drop me a hello. Let me know your city and state. I always like to see where all we're reaching out to when you get on. So let's see here. Who do we have on so far? We got Harold Stamey. What's going on, Harold? From Rockwood. We got Larry Merrick from Dayton. Josh Sanders from Chattown. Phil Webb from Seymour. A lot of local guys tonight. Here we go. Nathan Wood from Wabash, Indiana. What's going on, Nathan? Oh, one other thing. MCM Tackle, guys. MCM Tackle Jigs. If you did not win last week, MCM was on last week and saw how many of you guys were just like, man, I wanted some jigs. So they said, hey, give away another dozen jigs next week on your live. So MCM Tackle right there, guys. They make custom hair jigs. You can check them out there on Instagram or Facebook. They're going to give away another dozen jigs tonight to 2 lucky guys. So each individual winner will win half a dozen jigs. You can get on their website, MCM Tackle on Facebook, and you can look at all their different colors. They'll even, if you're really, really, really nice to them, if you have a favorite color that you like, they may even tie it for you if you ask them to. Okay. So they're all hand-tied hair jigs. Check them out. MCM Tackle on Facebook. Great people. Thank you to them for giving away another dozen jigs for us to give away tonight. So there will be a giveaway at the end of the show. And so you want to stick around for that because you could win. Guys, it's no secret. Okay. We've got 42 on here right now. I'm going to wait until we get up to 50. Because I have one thing that's been on my mind, been on my heart this week, and I really want to do something tonight. So anyway, when we get up to 50, I'll explain what's going to happen tonight. There's going to be a break in the program here, but that's okay. It's okay. It'll be a short intermission, but we're up to 47 now, so we're almost there. But let me say some more hellos while we're going through Going through this waiting process here. Brad Nelson from Moore, Oklahoma. What's going on? Jimmy Pratt from Maryville. What's up, Jimmy? Retired. What's going on? From Sam Rayburn, the lake that I grew up catching bass on, Lake Sam Rayburn. I love that lake, man. We used to fish the grass in that lake. Back then, I don't know if there's grass on it. Is there still grass on Rayburn? Because we used to fish it all the time, and it was just thick mats of grass. I do remember that from my childhood. And then I would throw a red crawl Rapala crankbait around the docks down there, and we would catch just hammers. I mean, we would catch 4 or 5 pounders just all the time. It was a blast to fish down there. I really loved fishing Rayburn when I was a kid. But anyway, what's going on, Retired? Glad you're here. Dave D from South Carolina. What's going on? Heidi. Dave, thank you for the email. I got that email. I did reply to your email, by the way. I hope you got that, and I appreciate the email. I was wondering if that was going to be caught. Anyway, I'm probably going to change that just so you're aware. Andrew, Dave, sorry. Dave, I did reply to your email. Heidi from Idaho. What's going on, Heidi? How are you, Heidi? I'm drinking water tonight, guys, because I've been over at the house working and I'm sweating and tired and drinking water, trying to hydrate. Andrew Alonzo, what's going on? What's up, Crappie family? Oakdale, Tennessee, what's going on? All right, real quick, we have got the Crappie Pile Hunter from Knoxville. What's going on? Tight lines, sir. Real quick, we've got 50 on. I told you guys I'd let you guys know at 50. I see 50, well, 49 now, but something that's been weighing on me and something that we're going to do tonight, when we get to 13 minutes, we are going to take a 13-second moment of silence. I don't want any posts. I don't want any messages. At 13 minutes, I'd like to take 13 seconds for the fallen warriors, our fellow brothers and sisters that lost their lives. And I want to just bow our heads, take 13 seconds if we will. When we hit 13 minutes on the live, I'm going to ask that everybody just pause. And I would like to take that time to reflect and just to show our respect for those. As you guys know, I am a retired Marine. There is no such thing, but I am. And that falls near and dear to my heart. Okay, guys. So here in just a few minutes, we're going to do that. I hope that's okay with everybody. But at 13 minutes, I will ask you guys to please take a moment to reflect them and to show our respects. Okay. So we're going to do that. Again, that'll be 13 seconds long for the 13 that lost their lives. And look, I don't want this to be political. I'm not asking for that. I just want to take the time to show our respects. Okay. So keep the comments clean. And, that's something that I feel I need to do. And I hope that's okay with everybody. Okay. So we're going to do that here in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to say some more hellos, some more olas. Let's see who we got. Big O from Clarks Hill. What's going on? James Hamby. What's going on from Saudi Daisy? C219. What's up? What's up? Taylor Thomas. Rods. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about rods tonight. Asleep. Hello, Wired fam. Hope everyone is good. Chris, I hope you're good. I'm not going to go into detail, Chris. If you want to, you're more than welcome. But I'm gonna refrain from that on your behalf, and you can do what you want to do there. But Chris, I hope you're doing well, and I'll let you run with it from there if you so choose. But what's up, my friend? C219 from Clarks Hill. What's going on? Ashley Coffee, what's going on? Recovered from the Rona finally and hope to have the boat and be on the water soon. Man, I'm glad you're doing better, Ashley. I know that's going around. It's not good, my friend, for sure. So glad to hear you're getting better or you've recovered and get back out there and catch you some fishies. Brad Nelson got the bait sent Thanks, Matt. You're welcome. Bo Myers from Maryville. What's going on? Todd Pell from Beaver Creek, Ohio. Hello, hello. Retired says water temp 89 to 93 today on Rayburn. Whoa, warm. Yeah, that is. It's close to that up here. Dog Talk. Hey, Matt from Trimpton, Utah. What's going on? I think I said that right. Trimpton? Is that right? Trimpton? Trimpton? Maybe it's Trimpton, Utah. Anyway. Blake Hawk. What's going on, Blake? How are you, sir? What's up? What's up? John McMillan. What's going on, John? JM Rose. What's going on? Bo Young. Hello, hello. Jim Churchill. Did I say that right? Churchill. There we go. Jim Churchill. Hello from Michigan. What's going on, buddy? Terry Gear. Hello, hello. Andrew says, thanks, MCM Jigs. Slab Buster says, hello, hello. Coy Jacobs from Lakeland, Florida. Hello. There's Heidi. There's the question I was looking for. How's Laura? Where'd it go? I lost it. Jeff, hello, hello. Laura is well. Laura went to the doctor today. Little Wired is doing well. He is, how big is Little Wired now? Let's see. Little Wired is 3 pounds, 6 ounces, guys. 3 pounds, 6 ounces. So he is, he's going to be here soon. He's right on track like the rest of my kids. My youngest son, as of right now, the middle child to be soon, was 4 pounds, 12 ounces when he was born. So that 3.6 doesn't scare us much because we know our kids are little. We have little kids. That's just how it is, which is nice for Laura. So, but Laura's doing well. Thank you for asking. Heidi says hello from Crappie Cove. Ricky Roberts from Uvalde, Georgia. What's going on, Ricky? All right, so like I said, we're going to talk about rods tonight, guys. But here in just a second, when we hit the 13-minute mark, which is coming up in 15 seconds, okay, I want to take a 13-second moment of silence for those that lost their lives overseas. I think that's something that we should do to honor their memory. And in 4 seconds, we're going to do that. So starting right now, guys. All righty. So to those that lost their lives and their families, our hearts and our prayers go out to you. And it's never an easy thing. It's never an easy thing. Being a part of the military myself, it has unfortunately, it happens, okay? But it's never easy, and it doesn't ever get any easier for anyone. And the situation, those that are left behind, is always hard for them, regardless of the situation. So regardless of who, what, when, where, how, or why, it's never easy. So our prayers and our thoughts go up for them and their families. And that's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to move on, okay? So thank y'all for allowing me to do that. I wanted to do that tonight for those 13, and may God be with them and their families. Okay. All right. So rods, we're going to talk about rods. Guys, I'm going to give y'all a couple of minutes to put your questions in there. Let me know what you want to know about rods. What is it that you're trying to get out of our conversation tonight? Give me some questions. Let me know what you guys want to hear about rods, because I can ramble on all night, but I want to make sure I touch those points that you guys want to know. You know, you want to talk about reel seats. You want to talk about grips. You want to talk about eyes. You want to talk about, you know, the difference in graphite and carbon fiber. Do you want to talk? I mean, what do you guys want to know about rods? Lead me in a direction, if you will. Okay. But yeah, lead me in a direction and we'll run with it. We'll run with rods, okay? Let's see here. Just reading some of y'all's comments here. I appreciate everybody for the good comments there on the moment. Jim. So Jim says, which spider rig rods do you prefer, B&M or ACC 16 footers? So I don't spider rig any longer. I have spider rigged in the past. Obviously, that's a technique that was very effective and still is very effective for catching numbers of fish. The rods that I actually used when I spider rigged, I used a 12-foot Pinnacle. Is the rods that I actually used when I spider rigged. I liked those rods because they had a very good backbone, but a weak tip. So I could see every bite. They had a whippy tip, not weak. It was whippy. So if a fish hit that bait and that rod would actually whip up. So you could actually see the rod tip come up. If a fish hit that and picked it up, it was very whippy. So you'd see it real quick. It almost bounced. So it was very good. I turn this phone over. His phone's going crazy. It was very good with that whippy tip to alert me when fish would pick that up and go up. But if I was going to spider rig now, I don't spider rig now just because it's slow. I have a hard time slowing down enough now to spider rig anymore. I do still do some power trolling, but I generally do that out of the back of the boat, Jim, and I'm using a set of ACCs for that. If I were going to spider rig now, it would be the ACC crappie stick. I would not go with 16 footers. If you wanted 16 footers, then that's great. The problem that I had with 16s was that they're hard to manage in the boat. Because they're so long, and a lot of boats aren't much more than 16 foot. You've got a lot of 16, 17 foot tracker boats that are out there. And then, my boat's 19 feet, which is only 3 foot longer than my rod if I used a 16 footer. So it was very cantankerous to use it that long of a rod for me. And in East Tennessee, Jim, we are generally fishing a little deeper. We're not generally fishing like the Mississippi chain lakes, where there's a lot of shallow flats, and like Reelfoot Lake, where the lake is shallower. We're blessed in that aspect because we fish a little deeper. We're able to use a little shorter rod. I use 12 footers. We were able to use those shorter rods because the fish weren't as skittish, weren't as spooky, because they're not in as shallow water. But again, if I were going to use a rod to spider rig with now, my rod of choice would be the 12-foot ACC. But if you want a 16, I would go with the 16-foot ACC. The price point's right. You're not going to break the bank, buying 8 rods, because when you're spider rigging, you're generally using 8 rods. The tip on them's great. Backbone's great. If you get in a situation where you need a lot of weight, the rod will handle it. That's a big thing, is if you have to go with a 3/4 ounce or an ounce weight, you need to be able to handle that on that rod. Okay. And you can do that. So, that would be my rod of choice. The B&M rods are great rods as well. I'm not going to say that they're not, but for the price point, I would go with the ACCs. All right. Joel Nash, good evening, sir. Taylor Thomas, what's the best dock shooting rod? This is a very good question. So what are you looking for? Hang on just one second. Let me grab a couple rods. So very, very good question, Taylor. So what's the best dock shooting rod? Okay. The best dock shooting rod, again, this is my opinion. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm a dock shooter. I've been a dock shooter for many, many years. I love to shoot docks. It's one of my favorite ways to catch fish. Okay. The best dock shooting rod, and I'm going to show you a couple rods. This is the rod that I used to use. Okay. This is a B&M Sharpshooter 6. This is a 6-foot rod. It is a one-piece rod, which I thought was the better way to go with one piece. I thought, until I picked up an ACC Crappie stick, which is a 2-piece, and I never have had any change or difference in the rod itself. This is a 6-foot ACC Crappie stick. It is a 2-piece. The rod that you're going to want is a medium fast action. Okay. You're going to want some kind of medium action rod. Something that's got a lot of backbone to the beginning of it. Okay. You want a lot of backbone down here at the grip. All right. As you go up, you want that backbone to release, and you want it to have some whip to it. You want it to be very fast. All right. So when I let this go, you want that to get out of the way quickly. You want a very fast tip. You want it to settle out quickly, okay? Now watch how quickly this settles out. See how quickly that rod settled out after it's shot? Ready, go. It settles out very quickly. You want it to settle out quickly. You want enough backbone in that rod that it settles out. You don't want it to sit there, and I'm going to do this with my hand right here, guys, okay? You don't want it to sit there and do this. All right, and I did that with my hand. You want it to shoot and settle. All right? You want something that's very fast at the tip, good backbone, but enough that you can put a bow in that rod. You want to be able to pull that rod back and get some bow in that rod too, because that's how you're going to get your distance. Okay, you got to build up the bow in the rod so that you can get the distance out of it. All right, grip, as far as grip and reel seat and everything, it's just whatever feels good in your hand. Okay, I've had a couple rods that this is a cork grip on the B&M. It's got just kind of a standard reel seat on it. Doesn't really have a whole lot of advancement or excitement about it. It's just your old cork grip. It does have the cutout in the cork where you can get your finger on the rod blank. It does absolutely nothing because it's too far forward. I've already talked to you guys about that. You're holding it literally in front of your rod if you get your finger in it, so it doesn't really do anything for you. But in my opinion, it doesn't. And good reel seat, nothing wrong with it at all. It's just whatever you prefer, cork or a super grip. If you like the super grip on the ACC, then the super grip, you can get that. I believe, I don't know if you can get it in a 6-footer, but I like a 6-footer to dock shoot. I think you might be able to get it in a 6.5. I'm not sure. Anyway, I like a 6-foot rod to dock shoot, and I have used a 6.5 at times, Taylor, but the 6-foot is where I land most of the time. The 6.5, you get a little whippy with the 6.5, and you really have to control it well. There's a little bit more control to a 6.5. A 7, you really have a lot of, you have a lot of whip with a longer rod. The longer rod you get, the more bow you're going to get, and the more whip you're going to get, the more travel of that bait. Okay, think about it. That bait has to go from here out, down, and back up. Okay, to shoot, because you've got it pulled back. You got the jig pulled back. It has to go out, down, and back up when you shoot it. It's and then out. So the longer rod you have, the more that bait has to travel, and the more timing is important. Okay. I don't like to go below 6 foot because you lose distance. when you go below a 6-foot rod, you lose a lot of distance. Okay. So 5.5. I've shot docks with a 4.5 footer before. All right. Docks where you had to get real close to the dock and you had to get in little corners and little nooks and crannies. I've used a 4.5 foot rod, and you can use shorter rods. You just don't get the distance that you will out of a 6-footer. Okay. So for me, a 6-footer, 1-piece or 2-piece doesn't really matter. It's not going to hinder you any. Grip, reel seat, just whatever you feel, whatever fits your hand, whatever feels better for you. And then let's talk about eyes. So the eyes are very, very important. Okay. So again, this is your B&M rod. You can see how large that eye is. Okay. Right there. The thing that I don't like about the B&M is how small the tip eye is. Okay. You guys see that right there? It is extremely, extremely small. It looks a lot bigger on that screen, but it's extremely small. Okay. I will say the rod on an ACC, the eyes on an ACC crappie stick, there's your first eye. Okay. That is the microwave eye. It's actually designed to take line twist out of the line as it goes through it so that it's not beaten against there and you actually get more distance on your cast or your dock shot. Okay. So that actually removes line twist. And the eye on an ACC crappie stick, it's a 2-piece, so I'll take it apart. It won't be as hard. The eye is a lot bigger on the end of an ACC crappie stick. Okay. You guys see that? So it's a lot bigger. That makes a difference. Okay. I'm looking for something with a little bit bigger eyes. That way the line comes out of it easier and the line's not slapping it as much, because the more your line slaps your eyes, the more it's going to take off of your distance. Okay. So that's what I look for in a dock shooter. It's a very good question. And then take it and practice with it. Once you get something, the most important thing is once you get a rod and you start dock shooting with it and you get comfortable with it, stick with that rod. Unless they discontinue it, just stick with it. Okay. Get something, learn to shoot with it and stick with it, because changing the feel of your rod, for me, even changing the reel sometimes messes me up. It's just like the weight isn't right. It's like, good Lord. So that's why I have the same reel on all my rods, and I have everything rigged the same as far as my dock shooting rods. So to keep it familiar. Mickey D's says, is there such thing as light, sensitive, and durable in 10-foot plus, or do I need to choose which two are priority? Light, sensitive, and durable. Do you own an ACC crappie stick, Mickey? The ACC crappie stick, and I'm not just saying that because I'm partnered with them, but the ACC crappie stick, as far as weight, sensitivity, and durability in a 10-foot plus. The problem that I have with a lot of rods over 10 foot, the 10-footer and the ACC I love, but the 12-footer and the 13-footer and the ACC, they're great rods. I struggle with the size of the blank. For me, I'm a little guy, I have a little hand, and the blank size on those rods, and I get they have to have a larger blank. And when I say blank, I'm talking about, the rod itself, the rod blank. They get so big around that I feel like I lose a lot of my feel with that big blank, just because I struggle with it being as little as I am. And I'm not a long rod guy. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I am not a long rod guy. The longest rod you'll ever see me use is a 10-footer, period. I don't need a 12-foot rod. I don't need a 13-foot rod. If I'm dead sticking, again, we're in East Tennessee. We're generally fishing a little deeper. those guys that are live scoping fish with a 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-foot rod out in front of the boat. I mean, I can cast to those fish with a 6-foot rod, and I don't have to fight that heavy rod. I can use a very light setup, a little 6-foot, 7-foot rod. I cast with the 6.5-footer. I love the 6.5-footer, 6.5-foot ACC to cast is what I use to cast. It's my casting rod. But I can sit 25 feet from those fish and cast to them, and I don't have to hold that heavy 13, 12, 14-foot rod. So for that reason, I do prefer the smaller rods, the shorter rods. But if you're looking for a good 10-footer, Mickey, I would go with the ACC, in my opinion, especially at the price point. I mean, you just can't beat them. Bo says if you want to try long pole jigging or the first time, it is easier to start with like a 10, 12, 13. Yeah. It really depends a lot on what area of the country you're in. If you're fishing those shallow water lakes, those shallow water impoundments like Grenada and Reelfoot and some of those shallow water lakes, then you may need a 13, 14, longer rod if you're going to vertical jig. All right. But there's something about being able to cast to those fish from 25 feet and not even have to worry about trying to get to that 13-foot range. I don't know. Again, it's personal preference. Rods, a lot of the feel in a rod is just personal preference, how you interpret that rod. It's a lot like electronics. It's a lot like, Humminbird, Lowrance, Garmin, which one's better? One guy says he sees Humminbird's better. One guy says he sees his Lowrance's better. One guy says he sees Garmin better than the other two. I mean, it's just that's how your eye interprets the image. This is how your hand interprets the feel. Okay. So there's not one rod out there. There's not one rod fits all. It's not like you can go out and say, okay, this hat is one size fits all, because it's got clicks on the back of it. Well, rods aren't that way, guys. You've got to find that rod that fits you. You've got to try different rods and experiment with different rods and figure out that one that just you put it down there and a fish hits it and you go, my gosh, where has this thing been? I mean, I felt every bit of that. Again, I would start in the ACC lineup, but there are a lot of different rod companies out there, and it just depends on how you fish. Okay. Stainless steel eyes is a big thing. I would look for something that's stainless steel, that has stainless steel eyes, especially if you're going to fish with braid, guys. If you're going to switch, if you're a mono guy and you're going to switch to braid, I would make sure you've got stainless eyes on your rods, because if you don't and you switch to braid, it will eat your eyes up. Yeah, I promise you it will. So make sure there's stainless eyes on your rods, okay? But yeah, that's as far as long rod, short rod, I don't think there's a better rod. I think there's a preference of how you like to fish. So if you like that vertical jigging and sneaking up on fish and just holding it right in front of their face, then you're a long rod guy. I would look in the ACC lineup in that 10 to 12 foot range. They've got a 13-foot crossover that is a really, really good rod, and it's balanced very well for those long rodders that are out there all day holding that rod up. I mean, my thing is I can hold. I could hold this 6-foot rod. I mean, I could take this 6.5-foot rod with a reel on it, and I could hold it probably all day in my hand. Literally all day with it out like this. And at the end of the day, I'd be fine. You take a 13-foot rod and you do it like this all day, it's going to wear on you. That's another reason that I use a shorter rod. So you know. Phil Webb, what reel size you prefer? I use a Fluger Tryon size 25. So the size 25 in the Fluger Tryon is the reel that I use. That's what I prefer. It is a little bit bigger than a 1,000 size, but it's smaller than a 2,000 size. So it's kind of that middle ground for Fluger and for, in comparison to other reels. It's kind of that midway between. It's got a bezel on it the size of a 2,000, but it's got the housing of a 1,000. Okay, so it's a little bit bigger bezel with a 1,000 size housing, and I really, really, really like that reel. They changed the design on me though here a little while back, and I'm not so sure that I love it. So I don't know. There may be a real change in my future. I hadn't made up my mind yet, but right now it's a Fluger Tryon size 25. Mickey, that's a good question. Do you use a larger reel to displace the added weight of a longer rod? So if I was going to fish with a longer rod, that would be something that I'd experiment with, Mickey. I think I'd actually I would. What I would try to do if I was going to do that is go to a rear seat to displace the weight over change my reel size. And then if I needed to bump my reel size up, I would. But if I was going to vertical jig all day and I was going to hold that rod out in front of me vertically or horizontally to the water all day long, hold that rod out, then yeah, I don't know that I'd want to go to a heavier reel. I think I just want to move that back to a rear seated where I've got more weight behind me and it's offsetting the tip weight. Okay. But if I needed to, because look, if you bump up the size of your reel, all you're doing is making your whole setup heavier. It doesn't matter where the weight's at, whether it's in your hand, behind your hand, or in front of your hand, you're still holding the weight. Now it might balance it out better so that it's not straining you as much, but you're still holding the weight, right? So I would try to move the reel seat first and see if I could balance it that way as opposed to going to a larger reel. Kenny Sparks, as I have learned using live scope to pitch with a 12-foot B&M with 1/32 ounce jig, preferably black and chartreuse stump bug. The black and chartreuse stump bug is I would be safe. I would feel safe to say that the black and chartreuse stump bug is the best bait on the market, in my opinion. I have caught so many fish on that bait. It is my go-to. It is my go back to. Now, my secret weapon is the grasshopper stump bug. That's my secret weapon for those big fish that are being finicky. But the black and chartreuse day in and day out for numbers of fish is probably on any lake. You can take that black and chartreuse stump bug right there to any lake in the country and catch a fish on it. I guarantee it. I absolutely guarantee it. I've had that bait in 6 different states and always caught fish on it. So I would be safe to say you could take that anywhere, clear or dirty water. But that's my opinion. I may be a little biased because I love them so much. But yeah, you can take a longer rod. To Kenny's point, you can take a longer rod, guys, and you can pitch to those fish. You can cast those longer rods. You've seen guys doing that, but it's cantankerous. My gosh, you're trying to whip a 12-foot rod to make a cast that you can make with a 6-foot rod, and you don't have the weight. I mean, Kenny, I hear you, buddy. I do. I mean, I know you can make those pitches, but why do you want to hold that heavy rod if you could have a 6 or 6.5 foot rod and make those casts or pitches and not have to hold the weight? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a Dumbo or Dum Dum. I think of it as fatigue. I think that I'd have more fatigue with that longer rod. But there again, I don't know. I mean, um, I need to spend hours and hours and hours and hours with a 12-foot rod in my hand to see how it works. I mean, I've fished with 12-foot rods and I've fished with a 10-footer a lot, vertical jigging, and it's that 10-footer will wear on you. There ain't no doubt about that. So I can only imagine that the 12-footer wouldn't weigh on you too. So I don't know if you're in open water now. If you're in a marina or around a dock or something of that nature, or fishing in structure where you can't cast, then I get the whole, maybe fishing around trees or something of that nature, and you need to be able to drop that bait straight down. That's a whole different ball game. If you're fishing structure, guys, and you need to be able to put that jig right down where you won't get hung, you need to be able to drop it right there, straight up and down, then that's a whole different conversation. You've got to use a 10 to 12-foot rod for that. You can't make that pitch, because the minute when you're pitching or casting, guys, the minute that jig hits the water, it's pendulum. There's a pendulum action to that bait falling to some extent. Even if you leave your bail open and leave slack line on the water, you're still going to get a little bit of a pendulum motion. It's not going to fall directly, just perfectly straight down. So those longer rods are beneficial. And that's a lot of reason I use that 10-footer, is to drop those baits straight down in trees and blowdowns and around stumps or around timber or around a dock or so on and so forth, whatever it is you need to do, or if you need it to go straight down. So those long rods have their place. But if I'm out in open water, and what I'm talking about is open water fishing, fishing open water, or fishing a offshore brush pile or something of that nature, I'm casting or pitching. I'm with a shorter rod over a long rod. Kenneth Pippins from St. Peters, Missouri. Hey, Matt, what do you think of hydrofoils? I've heard pros and cons. Interested in your opinion. Yeah, absolutely. Hang on just a second, guys. My opinion on a hydrofoil, I don't personally use one. Um, I don't. I mean, I won't necessarily say I have an opinion on it because I don't use one. Um, I would rather leave everything the way it is as opposed to put a hydrofoil on. Um, I don't really have an opinion on them, Kenneth, to be honest with you. I think that's something that honestly, I'm going to leave mine alone. I'm not going to put a hydrofoil on just because I prefer, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, my friend. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion on it. Uh, Super Dave, do you like the microwave guides? I do. I like them. I do think they add a little bit of distance to my shots because I think it smooths the line out a little bit. I think that microwave guide actually, like I said, it reduces the line slap as it comes off the reel, and it uh, calms that line down a little bit and allows it to flow a little bit better through the rest of the eyes on the rod. So you don't have it slapping every eye. Once you go through that microwave guide, it kind of smooths it out, and you've got a smooth transition up the rest of the rod from there. Mm-hmm. Andrew asks, what reel size do you recommend for a 6 foot? I was thinking Lew's 2500. I think the 2500 in the Lew's is going to be a little big for you, Andrew. I would stick. I saw a Lew's reel the other day that I was actually going to get one and try. I can't remember the name of it now to save my life, but it was a 1000, and it was a pretty decent size. I liked the bezel size, and the actual reel size was pretty good too. So I think a 2500 is going to be a little large for you. I would stick somewhere around that 1,000, 2,000 range. Taylor says, what 10 foot do you use? So I use a 10 foot ACC crappie stick, is the one that I use currently. I like it. It actually doesn't, the blank is not too large down here at the grip. I'm glad that I found one with a little bit larger or a little bit smaller blank, to where I feel like I feel better with one a little smaller, with a little smaller blank in it. Just because I feel like there's not as much surface area to eat up the shock. I want shock. I want to feel the shock, because the shock is the bite, right? So I want something that's a little smaller, so that shock doesn't dissipate as much coming down through the rod. So I want something that's going to be a little tighter, and that 10 foot ACC is got a really good blank size, but it's got enough rod to hold backbone out to the tip to where you can still stick those big fish. A lot of times with the long rod, I'd not get complete hook sets with a lot of long rods. I would sometimes, with those pinnacles I was telling you about that I used to spider rig with, I would not get a good hook set with those sometimes. On larger fish, it was difficult to drive a hook through the roof of their mouth a lot of times. You really had to rear back on some of them. And then you risk, if you pop them in the soft part of the mouth, you risk ripping it out of their mouth. But yeah, the ACC, it's got good backbone. I haven't had any problems with it at all. All right, real quick, let's open up my box. Let's open it up. I've been waiting to open it up. Funny story, this actually got sent to the wrong address and got sent back, and then they had to resend it. So I've been waiting on it for like 2 weeks. But that's okay. That's okay. It happens. I think I have another box coming, actually. I don't think this is all of it, but I think. It's so nice. It's so nice, so nice, so nice. What is in here? Whoopsie! I'm dropping it in the floor. I gotta back up a little bit. Oh! So as you guys know, at the Wired House, we're going to have a new man cave. In that man cave, we're going to have a lot of pegboard. So I needed and a lot of baits, tackle, all kinds of good stuff. So bam! Boom! I needed some decals, first and foremost, for the walls, because I'm gonna have all this on the wall. I'm gonna have all kinds of good stuff on the walls behind me, so you guys can have something fun to look at. while we're doing our lives. All right, so first and foremost, I had to get me some new decals. I need some decals. Bam! Look at there. Ding! Don't worry. I got more than that. I got a bunch of decals. We got Crappie Cove decals and ACC decals and Bonehead decals. We got it all. Ranger decals. We got it going on. Wired decals. Anyway, all right. What else we got in here? Ooh. Glow baits. Glow baits, guys. Got the new pink glow. Well, it's kind of new. It's been out a little while. But I've been debating if I was going to get them. I've been debating because I wasn't sure that that pink and that glow would do real well in the clear water up here. But we're going to give it a shot. We're going to try it out. We're going to see if it'll work. What's the worst they can do? They see it and run to the dam? I mean, you know, all the fish will be at the dam, guys, because they're going to see this bait. They're going to run like crazy. But that's okay. It's got some of them. Got some more moon dust. Got some more Palestine special. Got that blue and chartreuse. Check that out. Got it going on now. Here we go. You guys reckon I like purple and chartreuse? I got 2 bags of them. There's that bait that, there's the slick. That's the one old Russ Bailey and I caught all our fish on Douglas. If you fish Douglas Lake, you need a slick stump bug. That's what you need up there on Douglas Lake, okay? I think we caught like 75 fish in 2 hours when we did the show. When I did the show with Russ Bailey a couple years ago, we wore them out on slick. So anyway, what else we got in here? Oh, got me a new cap. Look at there. Yeah. Got me a new bonehead tackle cap. Got to represent, guys. Got to have the merchandise, right? Speaking of merchandise, if you guys want some wired merchandise, wiredforcrappie.com, you can get your merchandise on sale right now. So if you want hats, shirts, or any of that good stuff, cups, wiredforcrappie.com. Hey, check this out. Now, I told you guys I'll never use one of these again, but I figured we'll give her a shot. We'll give her a shot. Got that bonehead tackle rod sock. This is for my long rod. Okay. Almost there. That bonehead tackle rod sock. I like how they've got the ends of them dipped. So I thought maybe they'd be a little heavier and not blow out of my boat. The last ones I had blew out of my boat. You remember that story? Maybe, if you were on the live that night. I lost 2 rods and reels in a tournament. Blew out of my boat. All right. So that's cool. And, of course, black and chartreuse. Gotta have that. White and chartreuse. Gotta have. These are must-haves. Oh, here's the next one. Bam. There's the next one. That orange glow. We're going to try her, guys. We're going to give them a try. I don't know. We're going to see. I don't know. I'm debating whether they're a clear water bait. They're going to have to prove themselves to me. I know Chris brought them up here, fished with them up here, and he caught fish on them. So we're going to give her a go. Got the red, that red and silver, that blood moon. Got some purple and chartreuse slim sticks, black and chartreuse slim sticks, white and chartreuse slim sticks. Jimmy Pratt, my friend. What's that? What's that right there, Jimmy? That's that Blue Ice Slim Stick. Jimmy said he'd been catching them on that. He'd been wearing them out. So that's what he told me. Moon dust in the Slim Stick. What else we got? More glows. You guys seen this one? That's that moon dust or that moon glow. You guys have seen that one. I've showed you that one before. Now, hold up a minute, because y'all know where it's at. B-Power braid in the orange. I was getting low. I was getting a little low. I needed some more. So, got that 500-yard spool in the orange B-Power braid. You guys know I use the orange so I can tell my rods apart. My dock shooting rods have that high-vis yellow, but it's a mono. And then I put orange braid on my casting rods, my brush pile rods. That way I can tell the difference when they're laying on the deck. I think it's important. Saves me a couple seconds of digging in rods. So anyway, that's the merch. The merch box that we had to open. I've been waiting on. I'm excited. All right. And there's another one coming too. It's supposed to be. So when that one comes, I'll show you guys that one too. But I am looking forward to using these baits. These are probably the glows, probably what I'm looking forward to using the most, just because it's something new. Bonehead has a new color. They came out with a new color this week. And those, I'm going to get some of those too. But I am interested to see if that is going to produce some fish for me. It's just bright. Orange and chartreuse, glow. I don't know. It's bright. It's awfully bright, guys. I don't know. We're going to try it and see. I like to experiment. We're going to experiment for a little bit. See what happens. Who knows? Maybe we'll find the next tournament winning color. You never know. Don't know unless you try, right? So we're going to give them a go. I do like the glows. So Joel says Bonehead glow is great. I love the glows. I love the moon glow, which is not as aggressive. It's a little bit less aggressive than that orange glow. So we'll see what happens. But no, I do love the glow baits. They do make a really good glow bait, and they glow really well. Actually, when I leave here, when we get done with the live, I'll walk out of my office and turn the light out, and these baits right here will glow so green that when I turn around and look back in here, they'll actually be lighting up a little bit of the desk because they glow so bright. So it's like they light up the little area that they're in over here. And it's pretty cool because this line right here, this high-vis fluoro, they actually light it up a little bit too because it's sitting right in front of them. So it's pretty cool. You look back and it's like I have neons in my office. It's pretty cool. Anyway, moving on before I get all derailed. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss any questions from you guys here. Yeah, there's Jimmy. Blue ice, baby. Jimmy and his blue eyes. Andrew asked if I had the new green bait. So they do have a new bait out. If you guys haven't seen their new bait, boneheadtackle.com, you can look at their new bait. Crappie 2021, guys. Crappie 2021 at Bonehead Tackle will save you 15% on all your Bonehead Tackle. You can also get it from Crappie Cove right down here. 10% off Crappie Cove with the wired discount, WIRED. 10% off Fishing Specialties for you guys with the wired discount. And Stowaway Mounts, 10% off with the code WIRED. So the one that I don't have up there is Bonehead, guys. Bonehead is Crappie 2021, saves you 15% at boneheadtackle.com. So you have to order off the website to get that discount, Crappie 2021. Okay. Nathan Wood, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. I appreciate it very much, sir. It's a blessing to me in this channel, and I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I enjoy talking to you guys, giving you guys info. I appreciate it. So thank you for the super chat, buddy. Larry, can you talk a little bit about waypoints? Do you share all your waypoints with your partner? How do you exfer, etc.? Transfer? Is that what you're asking, Larry? Do I share all of my waypoints with my partner? That's a good question. Do you guys want to take a stab at a yes or no on that one? What do you guys think? Do I share all of my waypoints with my partner? What do you guys think? Yes, no, maybe? My tournament partner is who Larry's talking about. So do my tournament partner and I share all of our waypoints? What do you guys think? That's a very good question, Larry. Very good question. Phil says no. Brad says lots of laps. What do you think, guys? Oh, Josh says yes. Josh Sanders says, I'd say yes. Larry says, I guess no, but then just what you find for a tourney. Andrew Alonso says yes. Kenneth Pippins, no. Robert Love, mostly. Joel Nash, why, sure. Heidi Clark, no. Taylor, not. Nathan, no. Lot. Taylor says lot. I guess a lot. Lot of what? Yes. Jeff says yes. Retired says nope. Brad says nope. Josh says you're too competitive to not want to have every single waypoint you could. Y'all have to share all of them. Very good. Very good guesses. Very good question. I'll go ahead and give you guys the answer to it. So let me go back up, pull Larry's question back up. Here we go. All right. So do you share all waypoints with your partner? No, I do not. Would I share all of my waypoints with my partner? Yes, I would. Okay. So let me explain. This hat's not adjusted right, so we're getting rid of it. All right. Let me explain why I don't and I say I would. Okay. Literally, I have 5, 6, 8,000 waypoints. I think it was 8 last time I looked. Anyway, he has just as many or more. Okay. Generally, what we do, okay, is when we're tournament fishing, is generally we will go to the lake together to prepare for a tournament. Okay. Generally, what we do, unless it's a long way, unless it's a long haul, we'll generally take 2 boats. We'll take my boat, we'll take his boat. We'll break down the lake into sections and we'll hit one section apiece. So let's take Fort Loudon, for instance, okay? I may say, hey, I'll take the dam to Prater Flats or Ish Creek. I'll take the dam to Ish Creek. And he'll say, okay, I'll take Ish Creek to Louisville Point. All right. And I say, okay. And those are big areas. We generally don't cover that much area when we're pre-fishing for a tournament. We half that, really. But this is just talking, okay? He'll say, I'm going to this area. I'll say, I'm going to that area. I'll check all my waypoints in those areas. He'll check all his waypoints. Do they cross over a lot? Yes. There is a ton of crossover between my waypoints and my partner's waypoints, without a shadow of a doubt. All right. But hear me out. What we will do is we'll look for fish. We'll stop. We may catch a few. We will not catch many, but we'll catch a few. And then we'll come back at the end of the day and we'll talk about what we found. All right. So if he says, hey, I didn't find a whole lot of good fish. And I say, hey, I found we can win the tournament right here. All right, we can win the tournament in front of the dam. They're everywhere. There's fish everywhere. They're on brush. There's 25 brush piles in front of the dam. We can win the tournament in front of the dam. I feel like we can do it. Okay, well, that's when we go to our units and we say, let's check our units to see if you have all the brush piles. So he'll pull his up. I'll pull mine up. Do you have this one? Yes. Do you have that one? Yeah, well, I got one that's really close to it. It's probably the same one. Okay. Do you have this one? And he says, yes. All right. And then he says, no, I don't have that one. Okay. We'll take a piece of paper and we'll write the coordinates down on a piece of paper. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Write the coordinates down. Do you have this one? No, I don't have that one. Do you have this one on this point? Yeah, I don't have that one on that point. All right, we need that one. So we'll write it down. And then we just manually enter them. Okay, Larry? What we don't do is we don't save our waypoints to cards, put a card in, and download them to a unit because there is a lot of crossover in our waypoints. And you don't want duplicate waypoints on your unit, Larry. Duplicate waypoints on your unit, if you have, and they will enter, okay? Duplicate waypoints will download to your unit, all right? A lot of the new units you can remove duplicates on. The older units you cannot remove duplicates on. So if you put duplicates on there, it will slow your processor down and you will get, lag in your unit. All right. You don't want that. So we do not download and transfer just for that reason, because we don't want those duplicate waypoints. If we know we're going to fish an area, that's when we go to looking at waypoints. All right. Do you have this one? Yeah, I have that one. Do you have this one in front of that dock? Oh yeah, I found that 3 years ago. All right. Do you have the one that's off the rock pile in in front of the rock pile in Ish Creek on the right-hand side, 40 yards off the bank? Oh, yeah, I know where that was at too. Don't worry about it. That's the conversation that we have. And then those waypoints we put into our units. And yes, it is daunting at times because to try to remember every area of every lake is tough, and every brush pile in every lake is tough. And it's like, I don't know if I have that one or not. So yeah, there are some that will get in there, and generally I'm the one that does that. I'm the one that takes the waypoints rather from his unit, puts in mine, or I take them from mine and put in his. But so does he have everyone? The answer is no. If he needed everyone, would I give it to him? Without a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt, I'd give him every waypoint I had if I had to. That is the one person and only that I would give every waypoint I had to, because we're a team, we're partners. And that's all I'm going to say about that. We'll move on to the next one. So no, I do not transfer. And if there's anything else you want to know about waypoints, Larry, I can answer it. Just let me know. Tanisha, a lot of work goes into these waypoints, or those waypoints. It does. Yeah, it does. Without a shadow of a doubt. A lot of time, a lot of money goes into finding those waypoints. There's no doubt about that. Paul said, nope. Larry says, how close do you consider a duplicate? 20 feet? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anything within, it really depends on the depth of water. But then I say that because the depth of water, I mean, if it's in 10 feet, I wouldn't think it'd be more than 10 feet off. If it's in 20 feet, I wouldn't think it'd be more than 20. If it's in 30, it shouldn't be more than 30. So just kind of depends, case-by-case basis there, Larry. But yeah, anything over 20 feet, probably, because we don't typically fish more than 30 feet of water. So anything more than 20 or 30 feet, I would not consider a duplicate. If it's within 20 to 30 feet, then yeah, I'd consider that a duplicate. Josh said, I would consider that sharing all your waypoints. I understand not downloading a card with thousands, but you don't hide waypoints for a certain area you decide to fish, too competitive to miss one. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And look, guys, there's a lot of times where hang on, super chat. Crappie Disaster RC saved $17 on fishing specialties order using Wired and wanted to give some back. Thank you. I appreciate that. You don't have to do that. That discount's there for you guys to save some money, but I appreciate that, Crappie Disaster. Thank you very much. It's a blessing to me. I appreciate you, buddy, and I'm glad you saved yourself some money on your fishing specialties poll. So thank you, buddy, very much. I appreciate it. Josh says, again, yeah, we are very competitive, but a lot of times when we get on the water, if we hit those waypoints that we wanted to hit, and we're in an area and we're looking for more waypoints. I mean, I can't tell you the amount, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. It's like, hey, while we're here, do you know about the one right here around the corner? And it'd be like, yep, I got it on my map. All right, let's go. And we go hit it. Or it's the opposite way around. And it's, hey, real quick, while we're here, do you know the one right here around the corner? No. Which one? Well, it's right here around the corner in front of this, that, and the other dock. I don't have that one. Well, let's go. I'll show you where it's at. And then we go find it real quick, which doesn't take long. Most of them it's just ingrained in my brain. I can tell you just about all of them. I think there's a few that I've forgotten over the years, but I can tell you most of them. So, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of the way that it happens. And, I'm not afraid to share any of them with my tournament partner at all. I'd be more than happy to share them all. Josh Sanders, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm still waiting on that $1 Waypoint fundraiser you talked about doing. I've been saving up. So, guys, Josh told me at one point, he's like, you just need to sell Waypoints for $1 and you'd be good to go. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not that desperate. I'm not going to do that. But, yeah, that's not going to happen, Josh. Anytime soon, anyway. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. But, it's getting easier and easier to find waypoints, guys. It really is. With the technology of today, it's hard to hide anything in the lake anymore. The one thing that I can tell you guys, and that I can't stress enough, is if you drop something in the lake, the minute you let it go, it's no longer yours. I've dropped a lot of stuff in the lake, and I found a lot of people fishing the stuff that I've dropped in the lake. And, I don't get upset about it. I just go to the next one. And, I'll come back to that one another day. I'm happy they found it. I hope they catch a limit of fish off of it. Don't get out there and get super protective of the stuff you drop in the lake. You see these things on Facebook and you see these things on YouTube. Guys are yelling at each other and cussing each other and going on, carrying on. It's fishing, guys. I mean, this is supposed to be fun. This is something that we do because we enjoy it, because we love it. And it doesn't have to be super confrontational. Again, when you drop something in the lake, it's not yours anymore. It's everybody's at that point. It's owned by the water. And if somebody finds it, wish them the best. Tell them, hey, I dropped that in the lake, man. I hope you catch a limit of fish off of it. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Caught any today? Caught any big ones? Have fun. So that's the way I handle it. If I could stress anything, I'd ask that that's the way you handle it as well, guys. There's just way too much to the other going around. And anyway, enough about that. Do you still drop stuff? Yeah, we still drop stuff. We've cut back. We don't drop as much as we used to. The thing that we found out is we've got so much stuff now that we literally can't fish it all in a day anyway. So I'm sure at some point we'll continue to drop more. We do still drop, but we don't drop as much as we used to. And as stuff deteriorates and we need to freshen it back up, we'll do so. But we don't drop as much as we used to. Andrew said, I've seen that firsthand. I think we all have. And that's kind of why I wanted to stress that. It's just, when you drop it, it's no longer yours. It's everybody's. Okay. All right, guys, let's give some stuff away. Let's give away the jigs. The MCM tackle again, guys. Thank you to MCM Tackle. That's their information right there. MCM Tackle on Facebook. Look them up, and you can order you some great hand ties. They're very, very good quality hand ties, guys. They tie them right. They know what they're doing, and like I said, if you're even really nice to them, they may tie your favorite color for you if they don't have it. So they've got just a blue million colors. You guys can go look them up and look at their color selection. They've got a bunch of different colors, but great people to work with. You can call and talk to them, send them a message. They will hook you up. All right, so 2 people, okay, tonight we're going to give away half a dozen apiece. You will have to contact MCM Tackle, guys, on Facebook and let them know what colors you want, where to send them, and all that good business, okay? I will send your name to them. That way they have your name so they know who the winners are, okay? And then they will send you out your half a dozen jigs. 2 people, 2 winners tonight, half a dozen apiece, okay? Half a dozen. That is 6, okay? In case anybody want to know how many half a dozen was. Let's give it away. Let's do it. All right. So we're going to make it real simple tonight. I'm going to write down a couple numbers here. I'm going to write down one number first. And I'll let you guys guess towards it. My pen just broke. We've had a malfunction, Captain. Let's see if I can fix it. Hey, there we go. Oh, I can fix things. Check it out. All right. So let's see. We'll make it interesting. I'm going to go. These are going to be good round numbers. Okay, guys. Last week I played a little joke on you guys and went with a half number. Well, but that was a reason for that. Let's see. I'm deciding between a 1222 and a 122 or 126. If money wasn't a factor, which would you go with? I'd probably still go with the 1222 because I'm cheap and don't want to spend money. But if I could save the money, I'd save the money. But the 126 is probably, if I just wanted to spend the money, I'd go with it. All right. Number between 1 and 60, go. Go, guys, go. 1 and 60, 1 and 60. Andrew said 1. Whoa, where'd it go? That ain't it. All right, stop. Stop, guys. I've already seen it. I gotta go back up here. Shoo! Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I know I seen it. All right, the winner is Heidi Clark, 43, Heidi. 43. Heidi Clark, congratulations. You're the first winner. Contact MCM Tackle. And if you don't have a Facebook, because I ran into that, if you do not have a Facebook, then you can shoot me a message at info@wiredforcrappie, and I can get you their info, okay? But if you have a Facebook, MCM Tackle on Facebook, and let them know that you won. All right, let's see. The next number, hang on. Let me see where we're at here. You take Heidi down. Heidi said, woo, thank you. All right, let's see here. Yeah, it's a good number. All right, 1 to 60 again, guys. Go ahead. Go for it. Ready, break. Don't see it yet. Dennis Evans said 4.5. It's a round number, guys. No 0.5s. Promise. I'm looking. I'm looking. All right, stop. I got it. I'm looking to see if anybody else got it. I only see one person that got it. I'm looking. You guys are fast on this one. You guys are like, I'll put every number 1 to 60 in there. All right, so the winner this time, number 19, guys. Number 19. And I've lost it. I'm looking for it. It's in here somewhere. And the first 19 I saw, where'd it go? Well, I said I saw it. I know I saw it. Hang on. My screen keeps jumping on me. It was Josh Sanders, guys. I seen it. It was the first one I seen. Josh Sanders was number 19. You guys got so many comments in here, it won't let me go back far enough. All right, Josh. Josh Sanders, number 19. You were the first one I saw. I can't go back far enough now. Sorry. All right, Josh. You're the second winner. Contact MCM Tackle. Heidi, congratulations. Josh, congratulations. I appreciate both of you. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate MCM Tackle for giving us the jigs to give away. Let's see. I seen another comment down here. Yep, you guys could go back far enough. Josh Sanders. Yep. All right, so you guys can go back further than me, obviously. Because I can't go back past Brad Nelson's number 30, and Larry Herron's number 323. All right, so let's see. Let's go back down. All right, guys. So that's it for tonight. I don't have any more questions, so we're going to call it. Been on here for almost an hour and a half. I appreciate you guys very, 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 very much. I'm sorry I was a little late tonight again. I stayed over at the Wired House too long trying to get that wrapped up. Try not to do that again, I promise. So we'll be back next Wednesday. Got a show coming out for you, actual fishing show coming out for you this week. So keep an eye out for that. I was able to get a show finished up between everything else. So you guys will see that this week. I know I hadn't put a fishing episode out here in the last couple of weeks, but it's been very hectic. Trying to get everything wrapped up over at the house. I've been there every night. It's just been a lot. So between work and that and just trying to keep going, it has been a lot. I've got shows to put out. Just trying to get them edited right now has been a pain. So that'll be out for you guys this week. I appreciate y'all again very much. Guys, I hope y'all have a great week. And if you guys need to contact me, have any other questions, info@wiredforcrappie.com is my email. Go check out wiredforcrappie.com. Guys, I am starting to book guide trips, electronic training trips, okay? If you need a training on any of your electronics, I'll be happy to come out and get in your boat with you. They're 2-hour classes. You can check out the price and everything for those online at wiredforcrappie.com. I'm doing live scope training. I'm doing side imaging, down imaging training. I'm doing guide trips, obviously, if you want to go catch fish. Price for all that's on my website. And also doing electronic installs. I'm going to start booking electronic installs. So if you guys need live scope installed or need any of your side imaging, down imaging products, your trolling motors installed, anything electric on your boat, I'd be happy to install for you. I do all my installs myself, and I've done installs for a lot of guys that are on here tonight. So if you need any references, I can give you some references, but starting to book those. All that is on the website as well. So go check that out, wiredforcrappie.com. I appreciate you guys. God bless. Have a good night. And we'll see you next week. See you guys.